So looking at the painting, I think that Holbein was trying to achieve a sense of movement by forcing the viewer to move around the painting in a sense. By incorporating the anamorphic feature, we're able to see an alternate reality. So this allows us to see things from another's point of view, where we see how a situation is from the front, and we can also view it differently from the side. We also see this in other artists' paintings, such as Rauschenberg, where he creates an experience of changing anamorphic art by incorporating it into his screen prints. He takes many layers and is able to create a print that also changes while you're able to look at it from either side. Griesbach does the same thing, similar, by creating collages, which are also more abstract and can be interpreted in several ways just based off of the way that a viewer can see it. That's the great thing about art. We have the ability to have our own interpretation of what the artist wants, as well as looking at the way that they wanted something to happen. So a common thread between artists of the 1500s and the contemporary artists now is the concept of artistic realism. So this concept has been interconnected with the history of photography. So photographic record can represent a reality of the it is what it is, as well as the subjectivity of the photographer. So based off of the angles that a photographer gives, they can portray a sense of realism or just creating an alternate reality based off the one photograph in that one moment. But looking at the ambassadors specifically, my first immediate focal point is definitely the men leaning on the shelf. It gives a sense of like power, but also like relaxed in a sense. I go towards Jean de Dinteville, the guy on the left. He's in a very grand outfit with his red poofy like cloak, outerwear, and he has his knife right in the front. It's golden, and it is, as they pointed out in the video, it does have his age marked on it for 29. I then go towards Georges de Selve on the right. He's also in very rich-looking robes, since he is a ambassador as well, and it shows, like, just their clothing in general shows that they are men of high stature. There seems just to be a lot going on in the piece, but like within each own section shows like very specific. So with the musical instrument, you see that the one string is broken, and each of those has like their representation throughout the piece. And especially noting the crucifix that's hidden in the corner behind the curtain, and the anamorphic skull, which brings a lot of attention to it at the bottom. So with the skull, like, it does bring about a movement throughout the piece because the viewer will have to change the direction, the way that they see it, so they can choose whether to see the painting as a whole with the two men on the shelf and in their clothing and their garbs and with the curtain in the background, or they can choose to just see the skull on the side and base their opinion and interpretation of the painting on that.